Alright guys, this is Richard with the Hunter-Gatherer Society, and of course Dozer, who's burning off some steam here. We'll call it looking for wild foraging, or wild edibles. Just kind of doing a little hike today. Oh, and these guys, big apple snail shells. Find them all over out here when it's dry. You know, just kind of neat. We do take them sometimes, we make candles out of them. But that's not our goal for tonight. Tonight's more about getting out of the house, getting some fresh air, and maybe finding something to make a little tea with. So we're gonna carry on here and check back in if we find anything good. One thing that's important when you're out foraging, I think, it's a mushroom hunter's rule really, and that is to make sure to look all directions. Mushroom hunters, we tend to look down all the time, and we easily get lost. But then when we're foraging, a lot of times I'm looking off to the sides, I'm looking up, looking for trees, looking for mushrooms, and sometimes I forget to look down, which is kind of interesting, especially when it's pretty thin, you know, along the trail, because that looks like there's a lot of variations where this doesn't. But if we get real close here, we notice some interesting finds in there. And it's kind of along here, and then I noticed it over here as well. You'll notice the little heart-shaped leaves. So that is wood sorrel, and I really enjoy this. I think it has kind of a lemony taste to it, lemony lime taste to it. Very nice and salads. These are small plants, but there's quite a few of them along here, and then down the middle of the trail as well. So I'm going to gather a few of these, and we'll carry on. I wanted to show you guys this a little bit farther up the trail. Decided to stop and pay attention to some of the greens on this side. But you'll see in here wood sorrel. Also gets these little buds on it like that. Sorry if that's not focusing very well. There's the leaf. Again, little heart-shaped leaves. So, nice patch right here of smaller ones. I'm going to take a few of these for a salad, and then we'll carry on. Well, we harvested a little bit of that. And just a little ways down the trail here, we found another nice little find. And that is dollarweed, or pennywort, the Goodcola family. So a nice little patch here. And we'll harvest some of that and carry on. Alright guys, we got out on a little bit more open trail here and found the key ingredient that I'm looking for my tea, and that is the bidens. And as we come along here, we can start to see some along the edge. Some taller ones in here that haven't flowered yet. And then we start to see the white flowers here. There's quite a few mixed in along here. Pretty thick. Some other greener versions. So again, I'm looking for the whole plant on that, but you know, primarily the leaves and the flowers. But I will dry it and chop it all up. And that'll be the base of my tea. There's a nice big one. One of the things that you can tell here, it's called the Spanish needle. And you can see there's the little needles. And those stick to your socks pretty good. But a very, very useful plant. It's all up along here. That's what I came to get. I'm going to shut the camera off and get to harvesting. Man, I definitely love the sounds out here. So peaceful. Oh, there's an interesting guy. I believe that. is an artist conch. Not an edible, very interesting mushroom. Fun to draw patterns on the bottom of. Entertains the kids anyway. So continue to find interesting things even if they're not all edible. Another interesting one here. There was a lizard sitting on it, but he seems to have run off. Apparently he didn't want to hang out with us. Beautiful cypress. I think they're such a pretty tree. Another one up ahead. Beautiful tree. It's been really dry here. We're kind of in a little bit of a drought. Rain forecasted over about 5 days coming up. Hopefully we get a little bit. Get everything woke back up. And we found some plum trees, but they're all pretty small so far. So I'm hoping a little bit of water will wake them back up and get them producing again. So we're going to carry on and enjoy the night. Well guys, I was just about to call it and head back to the car when I found the last ingredient for my tea. And that is the lemon bokaba. Nice lime smell to it. Little blue flowers. Little patch along here. Beautiful evening. Still got a little time before the sun drops. I think I'll harvest these up, head back to the car. I've got a picnic and a happy hour waiting. Enjoy. Well guys, it's been a beautiful night. So far tonight we've found wood sorrel, Caesar weed, Biden's, Pelosa, and dollar weed. Those that are wild food experts, wild foraging experts, will probably see plants in these videos that we don't catch. I am by far not a wild foods, wild foraging, wild plant expert. We started doing this as a fill-in for our mushroom hunting, which I'm a little more experienced in. And so we're always out looking for good mushrooms. But learning the plants seemed to come natural along with it. So when we're out harvesting, we can maximize our time. And it makes for a real nice addition, you know, to any hike. So oftentimes when we get done, you know, during the right season, we can come out with wild edibles, wild fruit sometimes, and even wild mushrooms, and make a nice feast. So a lot of it's just about getting out here in the evening and taking a walk and enjoying the great outdoors, especially with all the COVID-19 things going on. There's an interesting little patch here. Looks a little purple on the camera, but it's actually kind of a bright blue. Tomorrow we'll be returning to a spot where we found wild blueberries, quite a big patch, so we'll be heading back to harvest that tomorrow. We weren't really geared up for it while we were there yesterday. There's another one down in here. That's Fleabane. I've talked about that in some other videos. The leaves on that are edible and flowers. Not a favorite by a lot of people, of course, but anyway, especially with this COVID-19 things going on, it's just nice to get out of the house and remember that out here it's peaceful and quiet and gets your footing back on the ground. So anyway, y'all stay healthy, and thanks for joining us, especially Dozer here. Have a great night, and we'll see you soon.